All right, we're gonna go over self-rib mobilizations using a lacrosse ball. I love the lacrosse ball. I don't know a thing about the sport, but the ball is wonderful. So, if you're having pain or issues in this, what we call interscapular region between your spine and your shoulder blade, it could be with breathing, it could be during overhead pressing, push-ups, planks, rows, or even just sleeping on one of your sides. Oftentimes, our rib cage is the issue. It can even translate to pain up in the front of the shoulder when you're doing these different exercises. Our rib cage needs to be able to sit down onto our scapula needs to sit down onto the rib cage to properly load. And that allows your rotator cuff to pull that ball into the socket so you can exert power with your deltoids to push, your lats to pull, pecs to push, all that stuff. If the rib cage is dysfunctional, if your ribs are not supple and movable here, or mobile, and if they're too stiff, they can alter how that shoulder blade moves. It can also become painful. It's kind of like a little speed bump so that your shoulder blade's going over. If you have, people call it snapping scapula syndrome, it's not really a syndrome, it's just you got some issues between the rib cage and your scapula. Oftentimes they're not mobile, or sometimes they're too mobile and we need to strengthen it. And a lot of times we need to strengthen and build coordination of your scapular muscles. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a mobilization for your rib cage, your little ribs in here, to get them moving. You're stretching your intercostals and the tissues that hold your ribs to your spine. So let's get after it. Okay, let's do it here. So you'll lie on your back. You'll place that ball right underneath between your shoulder blade and your spine. So go ahead and lie back down onto your left. And you'll place the ball right between there, kind of off the side of your spine. So you don't want to put it right on your spine, okay? Right where the ribs plug into your vertebrae, okay? Then you'll slowly roll over onto that until you feel some pressure. It's not going to take a lot. As soon as you feel that pressure in that rib cage, is a little bit tender there. Not too bad. Cool. If it is, then you need this. If not, she probably doesn't need this. You're going to oscillate. So as soon as you get to that tender spot, you're going to oscillate. That just means a slow pressure on and off about 10 times to kind of desensitize the tissue, get the ribs to move. As soon as that feels like it's pretty good, you can roll off of it. You can slide your body up or down to a different location, or use your opposite hand to get back into that region. Boom, she's back, and you're good. You can do that up and down the vertebrae, the rib cage 1 or 2 times. I wouldn't do it more than that because you don't want to increase sensitivity there. This is also good for what we call neuropathic pain. The sympathetic nervous system can be a cause for like maintained pain. It causes the body to stay revved up, and the chain ganglion, or the cell bodies of your sympathetic nervous system, live just outside your spinal cord along the front side of your rib cage. So if this is her rib cage, these cells are right inside. So if we mobilize these ribs, oftentimes it can help down-regulate or reduce the sympathetic nervous system's drive. So if you get pain during the night, you have a hard time relaxing to sleep, sometimes just mobilizing this, we'll have you come off that ball so you're not getting a bruise. Often this will help reduce those symptoms. I learned that from a wonderful clinician named Michael Schlink in Los Angeles. Thank you, Mike. Love you. So try this out. As that feels better and it's not super tender right by your spine, let's show them that one as well. So kind of give yourself a hug again. You can see as you pull that shoulder blade away, you're going to expose more of the rib cage. You can go ahead and let's roll back onto there. You can actually get that ball wider out towards the scapula, and then we'll kind of mobilize into that. You might find more tenderness, more tightness, restrictions in the rib cage closer to the scapula. So as you get that arm pulled around, you can kind of mobilize those individual ribs. You might find what I call, again, speed bumps, and work on those things, and then follow that up with some shoulder mobility exercises, and then go into your weight training and see if that helps, if that shoulder blade's able to move a little bit better. If you do a pull-up and it doesn't feel so stuck, I think you can really get some benefit. So have fun.